Yes, now, blessed now. Don't forget the rest now. Des, boom, King of the Pit TV signing in once again with an exclusive. I never listened to this band, never listened to anything at all regarding this act. Not too familiar with the record label 20 Bucks Spin. I am aware of them, but I know they have a seal of quality as far as good metal goes. I got recommended this band by a friend the other night. He says, "Have you checked out Worm?" And I thought, Worm? I've not checked out Worm before. I've not heard of him. And he goes, "You need to check them out. Supposedly they got black metal vibes. Says they're picking up a little movement. Supposedly it might be a one-man project, but I believe the session musicians on the record. Correct me if I'm wrong. Without further ado, we're going to get into the entire record, my people. This is entitled Foreverglade, yeah? First track is the intro, entitled Foreverglade. Whether it's actually going to be, you know, I don't know. It says intro, but it's 5 minutes 20, so it might actually be a tune, who knows? Regardless, we're going to get straight into it. Without further ado, you know what to do. At Des Rocksteady Instagram, if you want to talk music, let's talk music. Foreverglade. Don't know what to expect. Yes, now, Limp Bizkit style. Where's Fred Durst? Drums sound like they've been recorded in some abandoned warehouse as far as the reverb goes. Dude, the guitar tone is nice, and it's actually, as far as the limitation of the notes are going, there's actually quite a good groove to it. Yo, I got put onto this like it was a black metal act. So far, that drummer sounds like death metal central. I'm not gonna lie to you. That drum is tasty. You know, that double kick is just piercing the production. That kick is nice. Is nice. If I had a nice pair of headphones or something, I'd be jamming out purely to that kick drum. It's nice, accenting some cool parts. Yeah, I'm not into music theory. I can't go into much depth. All I'm gonna say is that's tasty. That's easy like a Sunday morning, mate. Yo, we got Dimebag Darrell in the band. One of my mates would call this cavern core with them vocals. Drenched in reverb. Cavern core, bro. Foreverglade. Slight rhythm change in them three notes there, which had been then further adapted into chords, potentially just power chords or inversions and so forth. But yeah, a little bit of double kick, double click. We're getting into it pretty quick. I'm glad this just wasn't 5 minutes 20 of ambience, you know. This don't sound like black metal to me, to be fair. creepy cleaner guitar is just ringing over the top like some church bells. Where are we going? Where are we going from here? Come on. Yo, what the fuck is up? A lot of dissonant riffing there. A lot of flying onto the fretboard. Come on. I wonder what tuning that's in. Sounds like a drop tuning, potentially. But it's low. I don't want to say that's a 7-string guitar. I don't want to say it's a 7-string, but it could be tuned to what? I don't know. Is that what? Is that drop B? Drop B tuning? Possibly lower than B, to be fair. There we go, we got a bit of grim vocal over the top there. I'd like to hear a little more of that. Because as you know, if you follow this channel, traditional death metal vocals for me, but I like a little bit of a grim vocal, so come on, bring them in. Alright, that was the intro, that was Foreverglade. So I'm hoping we get to pick it up a little from here, a little bit more of a tempo perhaps. We'll see where this is going and then I'll finish up. Cool, so that was the intro of the tune. That was entitled Foreverglade. Well, it was the intro of the record, should I say. A nice introduction, definitely sets the pace, sets the tone. I'm hoping for a little bit more of a tempo change from here on. Got recommended this as a black metal record so far. You know, I hear the grimness, but you know, it sounds like death metal to me. Production's pretty neat. We're sort of riffing around on one idea, then the dum dum dum. Just faffing around with about, you know, 3 notes sort of going from there. Of course, there was a little bit of development later in the track where we got into the chuggy. Come on, yes, now a little bit of the chromaticism in the riffs. And it sounds good. I'm looking forward to get straight back into this. So, without further ado, Des at King of the Pit TV, at Des Rocksteady. First time listening to Worm Foreverglade. This one is entitled Murk Above the Dark Maw.
Did you miss your tax return deadline?
This is about missing your tax return deadline, much. Don't get me excited. Don't get me excited.
Worry.
Lovely eyes on her, right? Let's get straight into this. Come on. 20 buck spin. 20 buck spin, rinsing well with them advertisements. Come on. Where's the ad revenue going? I said in the prior track they had guitar notes ringing out over the top, which was like the ringing of church bells. Now we've literally got bells in the tune. I was also saying I was hoping for a bit of a tempo change, but I think we might be going for a little bit of a doomy vibe throughout this record by the sounds of things. We're developing a pattern of sorts. A little bit of synth in the background there doing the choir vocals. Oh, I think. Oh, this isn't a band you can mosh to, I'll tell you that. Anyone else throwing the claw? That was quite an inventive riff, changing the dynamic now where we're going. Another clean set. Ooh. Low and low. Yo, I like what the drummer just did then. Just gave a little sprinkle and a little salt and pepper there onto the, what was it, onto the bell of the cymbal. Yo, I really don't want to be that guy because I know I'm going to annoy, you know, a couple of underground metalheads, but them highs sound like Trevor from the Black Dahlia Murder, somewhat. Which is an incredible compliment in my opinion. Oh, come on. That was a bit of a random riff out of nowhere. Where we're going? Woohoo! Yeah, this is a headbanger. This riff's a headbanger. Drummer is just driving. I like them drums. I like when it's not too just over the top extra here, there, and everywhere. The drummer is just driving, just moving this forward. It's a mean riff, it's a mean riff. Murk above the dark moor, King of the Pit TV. There's some grim riffing up there. It's nice to hear a little bit the higher register guitar in contrast with the low end of the guitar, because that low end is just low as all. When that high end comes in, it just adds, I don't know, it creates a great spectrum purely as that high end. I don't know, it sort of mimics and mirrors the vocal of the low growl, just the low, boggy, reverb drenched growl in contrast with the high end grim shriek. It sort of plays off of that with the guitar, which is quite nice. First guitar solo we've had. Ew, right, that's a tasty guitar solo for a band like this. This guitar is definitely a Metallica fan. That sounds like a Metallica solo, I'm not gonna lie. Got Kirk Hammett in the band. If Kirk Hammett could sweep pick. Some reckless chugging. Some very egocentric guitar playing right now. This dude's been waiting 12 minutes to get this guitar solo out of him. Give him a chance. Them chugs are crushing. Them chugs are like, I don't know. How can I relate them to something? Dun dun. I don't know. I was trying to think of some imagery, but to put a long story short, they are crushing and they're accented and concentrated in such a manner that you have a focused point where they are meeting the drum hit, but you still have this density around that hit purely due to the heavy coat of distortion and disgusting grottiness that covers that guitar tone. that was the tune. That was Murk Above the Dark Moor. That was Merc above the epic guitar solo 101. We're starting to pick up in this record a little bit now, so that's good. We've got another advertisement, so good timing. eToro, which I think is stocks and shares. We'll get rid of that. Mystic Meg there telling me I'm going to get rich. So that was Merc Above the Dark Moor. That was tasty. There was a lot of cool bits. Even a momentary break. Little clean section which only lasted for about 8 bars, 16 bars, however many bars. Which sort of brought me into reality for a moment, then threw me back into the realms of the Foreverglade. So that was pretty cool. I'm going to get straight back into it. So you're listening to Ba 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 Ba. King of the Pit TV, Des, at Des Rocksteady. Without further ado, for the first time, we're going to be listening to Cloaked. Is it Cloaked? Cloaked in Night Winds, off the record Foreverglade by Worm. Put out by 20 Bucks Spin. Let's get straight into it, people. A bit of ambience. Guitars are grooving right now. The instrumental is grooving. We've got some groovy metal coming in. I would go as far as saying if this was a hardcore band, people would mosh, because this is a heavy groove. This is mosh central, to be honest, for the meatheads. Is that in 4/4 timing? Because they're accenting. If so, I think there's a heavy accenting on like a bizarre beat, which sounds it a little bit disjointed in a good way. Got me thinking, yes, Pablo Picasso style. Drummer just driving forward. We've got a bit of heavy metal right now. No. I like them vocals. I don't think I've heard vocals like that on a tune before. So, we're 15 minutes in. I assume this is Doom at this point. I went into here expecting black metal. Kind of thought I got death metal. Still, it is death metal, right? But this is low and slow. This is like more of a doomy sound overall in it. It's very dismal and what would you say? Very miserable in a positive manner, These vocals might be something that's quite familiar within this realm, but I don't necessarily listen to this style of music, so it's new to me. I do like that vocal. It's pretty ignorant, to be fair. I do rate you Doom musicians and artists, though, and fans of such, because you need a lot of patience to write and listen to this sort of stuff. I've got near to no attention span, not only down to just the age we live in, but down to being into punk and hardcore punk music. I just don't have an attention span. So, like, to be able to conjure up riffs like this, knowing where you're going over a span of minutes and how you're developing this riff and this section, and I do speak in riffs, so I apologize because I am a guitarist. But you know, you really have the power to drag on an idea in a section, and that's the idea, right? Rather than just getting it over and done with, which is how I write. Alien abduction on the synths there. Oh, it sounds like Dream Theater. Jordan Rudess jamming out now. Come on. No. This is a really cool idea. Pure cemetery music right now. Pure ignorance. Pure ignorance. We've got the mosh riff right now, people. Yo, we've got we've got the one scene kid who's turned up to the event. He started kicking. Yo, what's he doing? He started just flailing his arms around and kicking the metalheads. Oh no, there's gonna be pit beef. What is going on? What is going on with this ignorant riff right about now? Open, 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 one, open. Here, I wrote this exact riff in a band I was in, which I'm not going to mention. I want to hear a bit more of Dimebag Darrell though. There was some dive bombs on that intro. I want to hear more Dimebag Darrell. synths have really taken the forefront of the band for this one particular song. This band, or this individual who's written this music, is utilizing consistently a load of different higher register leads over the top of the riffing. It seems like in every track we don't go a minute without hearing a new lead, if not continuing that lead over the top, which is a good utilization of the guitars, right? But I'm sure there's more than one guitar doing the low end riffing, so we're incorporating that third, if not fourth guitar over the top, sort of doing the twinkly broken chord thing, or, you know, sort of performing a melody of such over the top, some dismal melody, potentially in unison with the synth. Was that the end of that tune then? Bruh. This is a long one. Yo, I'm back, people. Don't worry. I just had to dip for a quick second, alright? We got the creepy interlude. We've got the spider coming out of its hole onto its web to have a look at the scran to devour. Come on. Yo, I don't know how drummers can play this style of music, in all fairness. The drummer's been doing plenty, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to riffs like this, there's just so much minimalism, so much going on, or should I say so much minimalist going on, that there's just so much space to breathe. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? I'd get bored if I was on the drums right now. I'm gonna be controversial and say this bit's dragging for me, to be honest with you. Yeah. Obviously, we'll put this record out. I was feeling a bit of a black metal vibe, a little bit of a higher pace vibe. This doom stuff, which drags on for a minute, isn't necessarily for me. I'm not that miserable, people. Let's go. got a question. If you got on this far, what's the environment? What's the mood you like to be in when you listen to this style of music? Doom music, dreary, heavy, low, ambient to an extent, metal music. What sort of environment do you like to be in? What state of mind does it put you in? What state of mind do you have to be in to delve within this realm? Let me know in the comments. Yo, I better have just heard the word Foreverglade there. I just heard the title, I think. One of them moments, you know the feeling. Quite hypnotic in a way, isn't it, this particular section? Verging on drone, potentially, as far as the extension of the power chord as it just coats the soundscape. Or as the title of the track says, as it cloaks the soundscape. Cool. So that tune was entitled Cloaked in Night Winds by the band Worm from the record Foreverglade. We've got an advertisement after each and every tune.
I was doubtful too. Until I
Here, Worm. I hope that contract you signed with 20 Bucks Spin was including advertisements on YouTube, because making a killing off of rinsing me with these advertisements. So that now we're on to Empire of the Necromancers. We're going to get onto that. But as far as that tune goes, it was pretty good. We definitely got a theme on this go now. A pattern has emerged. We're 3 tunes in. I understand the sound of this band. I personally am not expecting anything different from this point, as opposed to just the low, dreary doom riffing, the broken chord upon the top, potentially a bit of synth overlapping that, the and the and you know, I would go as far as saying the drummer is the one who is making this, who has the most broad spectrum of adding flamboyance to the record at this point, which isn't a bad thing. I think it's going to get interesting at this point, purely as I come from an outside world. I'm not familiar with this style of music, and I don't necessarily choose to listen to this type of music, but here I am, and I get to have a good insight to this particular world. And I know there's a big crowd who enjoys this style of music, and I appreciate you. And we're gonna get in this, and we're gonna have a good conversation about it and see what's going on. So we're all good to go, yeah? Bada bing, bada bong. Des, King of the Pit TV, at Des Rocksteady, yeah? We're going to jump straight back in. First time listening, this is Empire of the Necromancers. Jeez, the Necromancers. Wah! From the record Foreverglade, off of the record label 20 Bucks Spin. Please don't give me another advertisement after this tune. I'm sick of being plugged trading apps and everything in between. This is Worm, Foreverglade, Empire of the Necromancers. Let's go. Okay, so first things first, that's a nice riff, and it's entitled Empire of the Necromancers. I think the title of the tune and this riff goes hand in hand, personally. I think it sets the tone, sets the mood quite nicely. It's quite a mystical, black magic sensation of a riff. Come on. There's some lead guitar there, or lead guitar if you want to call it that from there. I'd be surprised if that was the same guitarist I've heard playing the lead solos in the prior solos, because this is a completely different approach to the Metallica-esque soloing I heard earlier. This is almost neoclassical. So far, this might be my favourite track of the record. That little dive, or the... I don't think it's a pre-bend, but... Boom! That's crushing. Crushing part of that riff there. That lead section there is verging on a Slayer-esque bit of riffing. Could be a Slayer doing this, right? The lead guitar in this track is very different to the other tunes. I don't know if there's a different guitarist in. Some heavy metal lead guitar in there. I like the melodies in this tune. I like the melodies. I like the energy it provokes. gonna go, but I think that's the fastest I've heard this entire record. 28 minutes in. Some tupper on the drums. I've never felt this way before. Okay, right. I said earlier it sounds a little bit like Trevor from the Black Dahlia Murder, which, you know, if you've only just signed in, I know, it's underground metal, dude. You can't say that. We're not like them sellouts, man. But I'm going to go it even further, yeah? You know, I don't know if you're going to admit to it, but Emure, yeah? I was a big fan of their first record entitled Goodbye to the Gallows. The highs sound a little bit like Emure as well. Frankie Palmieri, I think his name is. I think so. Hard groove on that chug. Right, I think I've got a little hook here, right? This is definitely video game music. For all you gamers out there, yeah, playing RPGs and stuff. You know, this is background music for that sort of vibe. Tell me if I'm wrong. Two guitar solos, one record. Or one song. Was that the record? Empire of the Necromancers. And look, there you go. 888
Join
Casino.
888 Casino today and play with
Oh,
88
they put an
cards for
advertisement
free.
after every
Enjoy
song.
today or buy.
I can't be having it. I can't be having it no more. I don't want to be plugged this degeneracy, this gambling nonsense. Right. Without further ado, we're going to move on to the next one. But a little note on the last one. That might have been my favourite tune. I think the title of the song, given the lyric is essentially inaudible for the most part. The lyric, the title track. Oh, I'm sorry, people. I'm tired. The title of the track, in accordance with the soundscape that is created on that song, I think goes hand in hand. Painted a great mood, ambience, and image in my head of not necessarily what was trying to be represented, but what I projected onto that song. Um, it was very easy to do so. So I enjoyed that. I liked that. The guitar solos were very mature. Whoever was playing lead guitar on that particular one didn't sound like the same lead guitarist who was on the prior tracks. And they could play a mean lead guitar. A lot of good riffs, and the fastest section I've heard throughout this entire record. And when I say fast, I mean, you know, not incredibly fast, but it was like the first fast section I have heard so far. So that was very pleasing to me. I like my fast sections. I like fast over slow, so that was pretty cool, alright? So that's me. We're moving on to the next track, people. Wow! There's King of the Pit TV. First time listening to the entire record, Worm, Foreverglade, off of 20 Bucks Spin, the label. I'm not going to try to attempt the name of this track, but it's in the title. Tell me how to pronounce it in the comments. This is Sub Funeral, okay? We're going to get straight into it at Des Rocksteady on Instagram. Let's go, people. We got a nice little trill for a change. Normally we go for the broken chords, alright? But now we've got the do 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 diddle. Go on, Yngwie Malmsteen, come on. Nice little fade in with the synth. Strings. Yo, this is a straight up emo track, mate. Yes, this is Bullet for My Valentine. Come on, Worm. This is like a cheeky little ballad of the record, this one. I like it. I like the change in tone. So far it's not been based upon crushing heaviness and low end chugs. There's some nice melodies going on, a nice little bit of depth within the actual melodic aspect of things. Very pleasing. I like the palm muted single note riffing. As this album is progressing, we're delving into we're building momentum. I said at the end of the third track, I had seen the pattern and I knew what was coming for the rest of the record, but I was wrong because the last track showed me a more driving, forward-facing metal approach. This one in particular, we're delving into a little more of a melodic, dare I say it, 1% metalcore-esque sound with the palm muted guitars, the dual melodies on the guitar, the less reliance on the low end dreary chug. It still is a bit dreary, but we're taking away some of the misery and actually adding a little bit of a melancholy value, I think, in this particular song. And I like it a lot. Who is it who's playing lead guitar on this record? Is it the actual writer of the music? Is a really good guitar player as well? Or have they got a session musician in for the job? Really good guitarist. I don't care for guitar solos, to be honest with you. I think this is just, you know, I think it wank, to be honest. Guitar wank, you know what I mean? I used to be into lead solos, now, you know, I just don't have the time for it, but younger me would be gasping and drooling all over this sort of stuff. Like, this is proper Guitar Hero stuff. Your ultimateguitar.com sort of style stuff, this, you know. It's an incredibly mature lead guitar for a relatively underground band. Like, these are the guitar solos that this guitarist could... I don't know who the hell this guitarist is, but I assure you, if they're not well known... I don't know what I'm trying to say. This guitarist, right, could very easily play lead guitar in the leading metal bands. So, are they in a leading metal band? Does this individual have any projects aside from jamming in Worm? Is it the writer of the songs? Is it Worm himself who's doing this? What's going on? Because that lead guitar is... you don't hear that in up-and-coming bands. You do not hear this sort of lead playing. Alright, was that it? And then we got another ad, thank you very much. Just spamming ads everywhere. I'm going to stop complaining about these advertisements because they go into a good place, okay? But as a listener, you know what I mean? Bloody hell, it's not Spotify free, is it? Give me a break. So that was Sub Funeral. What did I think to that tune? It was almost like a bridge in the record, because it was light-hearted in comparison, melodically at least. Instrumentally, it was quite light-hearted in comparison to the rest of the record we've heard so far. I thought it was brilliant. I did like the riffing, I did like the guitar. Potentially my favourite guitar lines of this record so far within there. So without further ado, let's continue on with the record. First time listening, got a bang, bang, bang. Des at King of the Pit TV, at Des Rocksteady. Instagram, first time listening to Worm, Foreverglade. Full album off of the record label 20 Bucks Spin. They've put out a corker. Few people are talking about this one. I got it recommended to me. Never heard of this band in my life, but my mate said, yo, gotta check this out. I came in here not knowing what to expect. Did not expect a Doom record whatsoever, alright? This tune is entitled Centuries of Ooze. Let's get straight into it, people. Should be music anytime now. Slow fading. Yo, this is Dracula's theme tune. This is either Dracula's theme tune or one of them motivational videos when you got someone shouting at you over the top of this. pure gym motivation vibes. Hustle grind. Wake up at 3 in the morning grind. Come on. I want to suck your blood. This is just another Doom riff to me. Nothing selling it. Not too pleased with this riff. That lead guitar with the just drench of reverb and whatever else sounds like a violin being played, in my opinion. An incredible sustain upon them notes. Where are we going with this? Oh, come on. Quite a tense riff, don't you think? It feels like it wants to go somewhere. Nice little, what would you call them? Chokes on the cymbal there. First time I've heard this in this record. First blast beats I've heard, I think. That fade in, is that a vocal? It sounds like a... Is that a vocal? That's a mean riff. Peppering it with that kick drum, machine gun. Come on. That cymbal just... I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of that. Just straightforward. Keeping it moving. Decent tempo. Decent energy. Right on my frequency, that. Almost like if this was a hardcore band, that'd be like breakdown drums, innit? Well, take away the lead broken guitar section, this would essentially be a breakdown of sorts. I've never heard that before, what that drummer's doing there with the dynamic. It looks like he's sort of flirting around, or she perhaps, flirting around that cymbal in a manner I can't explain because I'm not a drummer. Just such a sly dynamic on it, just such a subtle, just slur on it, just tapping away. I'm a fan of that. Sounds like we've got a solo to finish off the record. I wonder if these solos have been written or if they are improvised, because they're incredibly well phrased, which makes me think they're written, but the guitarist sounds so incredible that there's a potential that it is an improvised solo. Crushingly heavy, them opens. Dum, dum. I really like them vocals. We've got a fade out to finish the record off. Alright, so that was Centuries of Ooze off of the record Foreverglade by the band Worm, put out by the label 20 Bucks Spin. Thank you 20 Bucks Spin for putting that out. Thank you Worm and the people and peoples behind Worm to put that great record out. Thank you to the artist for the incredible artwork that has been produced. That was a cool tune, and there's nothing I can say about it that I haven't said in the prior recordings with the other songs. Overall, this record has been an experience. I'll be honest, I have never listened to a Doom record of this soundscape nature. I've never listened to any of that from start to finish in my entire life. So this has been my debut into this style of music. Me, I like fast music, I like punk music, I like tuppa 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 and D-beat music. This is a complete, wow, shadow side of that music. This is the slow, low, and gritty and dismal and miserable soundscape I'm not familiar with. And in all honesty, I don't choose to listen to this music because it doesn't necessarily resonate with me as it does with some people. But, I enjoyed this record. I'm not listening to it through a great sound system, yeah? I know if I had my earphones on my headphones in, it would be crushing some of them riffs because the guitar tone is ridiculous. And I know, you know what I mean? If I was smoking a Twifter and I was out and about, you know what I mean, going from A to B, especially right now it's night time, you know what I mean? It'd raise a little bit of food for thought if I had this record on. So a great ambience, great soundscape. The lead guitar soloist, even though I don't care for guitar solos, I would say that guitar soloist might be the strongest point in this record. Whoever was doing the guitar solos was an A tier metal guitar soloist. That lead guitar is on par with the best metal bands going. Incredible. Not on par, but better than most. So really impressed by that. The riffs, quality. Do I like the drawn out droney sections? No, that's not for me. Do I like the chugs? Yes. Do I like the sections of actual riffing, single picked riffing that was going on? Yes. The broken chord sections was a reoccurring theme. I guess that's just sort of what goes on with this particular style of music, because I am relatively familiar with that sound. I've got a couple of friends who participate in bands, and that's a recurring theme, the broken sort of single line, cleaner guitar up on the top. When I was younger, I had to delve into black metal, and I would go as far as saying, you know, that depressive black metal sort of sound. There was a lot of that stuff going on, so you know, I can relate and understand as to what's going on there somewhat. So that was good. What more can I say? I enjoyed the synths. They throw in a lot of different tonalities with the synth and the keys, and there's a few odd little vocal lines, clean vocals, and just slightly different vocal styles that was just earring every once in a while, potentially just as a one-off, and I liked that a lot. My favourite track was not Cloaked in Night Winds. I can't go as far, but I think it was track 4, regarding the Necromancers. That was my favourite tune out of the record. And I'm going to sign out, so I want to say thank you once again, Worm, 20 Bucks Spin, the musicians on this record, the artist on this record, the producer. It's good to me, alright. Thank you for the experience. I'm signing out. Des, King of the Pit TV at Des Rocksteady. Let's talk music. Let's get into it. One love.